Welcome to another Lead In with Lorne, and maybe I should call this Leap In with Lorne because I'm thinking of taking a leap, and I'd like your advice. And how this, of course, relates to leadership is that most of us spend our leadership development, certainly in part by doing risk and benefit analysis. We have to make decisions and ultimately we take risks, calculated risks. And this is related to that in a very personal context. So what I'm thinking about is actually with my wife is touring the world for about 120 days in 2022. And gosh, that's risky for all kinds of reasons, right? What's the world going to look like? Pandemic wise and otherwise. It's a huge financial investment. Well, you get the reward out of it that you're hoping for. You're away from loved ones. I can go through the entire risk analysis. And then here's the benefit analysis, though, is that I recall with tremendous clarity when I did my research about a decade ago, when I wrote my first book, The Character Triangle, and I looked at the views of people that were elderly and in palliative care, and also caregivers that supported those groups. And the overwhelming analysis was that people way more regretted what they didn't do than what they did. Of course, people regretted some things that they did, and particularly when they didn't lead from their heart, that they did what trying to fulfill other people's dreams rather than their own. However, what mostly people regretted was passing on some things at a moment and then hoping that they would come back to it at some later date. And you know what? Often they never did. And one day they turn around if they're blessed and then they're in their late 80s or 90s and those choices are gone for all kinds of reasons. And so I'm curious about a couple of things. One, what will you do in the next 12 months to unleash yourself and activate something? Because you've been, like me, we've been constrained for the last period of time and unable to do some things, even if we wanted to. We just couldn't. And then secondly, I'm just curious around, what would you advise me and on this? Is this something that we should jump in and take the leap on? And, I know that only we can answer that question, but I'm just curious how you think about it, how you think about jumping in sometime, taking that leap. So you lead in by leaping in. And with that, I want to both thank you and also apologize for dragging you into this, but also it may get you thinking as well around where might you leap and will it be worth it? And if you don't, will you regret it sometime later? And with that, I'm going to leave you, and I'll be anxious to see how you might respond. And I wish you well in your decision making and ask for your support as we make our decisions. Thank you, and thanks for leading in, and thanks for leaping in, and thanks for always hanging out with us on our socials. And I look forward to seeing you again next Monday. Bye for now.